Well, hey, I am Mrs. Burkhart, and today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite tools to use to communicate how we're feeling, and it's called the Incredible 5-Point Scale. Now, what is the 5-point scale? The 5-point scale is a tool that we can use to communicate how we're feeling and why. It's a really simple tool to use to communicate the way that you're feeling and to help you regulate your emotions. And why do we use it? You may be wondering, have you ever gone to the doctor and the doctor will ask you, tell me your pain or tell me how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 5, right? So what the doctor's trying to do is get a good read or feel on your pain level. Now, your pain level or if you're really hurting, like let's say you bumped your head, your pain level might be different than my pain level. And so I might say, oh, it's kind of a 5, like I have a light headache, a dull headache. But you might say it's a 6 or a 7 because it's different for you. Well, the same goes for our feelings. My mad or sad is going to be different than your mad or sad. And a tool like this really helps others and you identify exactly how you're feeling and why and what we can do about it. So we are going to go through each of the little parts of the 5-point scale. Now, this one is my giant one that's in my classroom. Yours is going to look something like this. And you're going to have and make your own 5-point scale that you can keep and use to communicate with your parents and to communicate with your teachers and to communicate your feelings to anyone that you want to. So here's what your version is going to look like. And when we talk about what these boxes mean, and these faces too, you'll be able to fill in some of this white part with your own words and feelings. So, you ready to get started? Here we go. We're going to talk about this green zone number 1 down here first. And it's down here. Look at that guy. He's got a really happy smiley face, don't you think? So, if you're a 1, then that means that you are happy, you're ready to learn, you're good to go. We can see some of the words I have written down here are excited, happy, relaxed, calm, focused, joyful, and ready to learn. Our goal each day is to be a 1 in that 1 zone. That's where we want to hang out because that's when we are our best selves, when we're in that 1 zone. Okay, so what does it feel like for you to be a 1? You can pause the video and take a moment to think about it and write down some of your feelings, what your 1 feels like in this box right down here in your 1 zone. Okay, let's talk about the next box, the blue, number 2, right here. Let's look at this guy's face. Not quite as happy as this guy. Kind of a little unsure, I would say. He's a little unsure, maybe tired, disappointed about something. Maybe you got really excited about something that was happening at school and maybe it got canceled, so you're a little disappointed. Or also maybe a small problem. Now, small problems are things like losing a game or breaking your pencil, or someone bumps into you on accident, or you dropped your books, or you accidentally might have ripped a page a little bit in your book, or a hard math problem, or not getting the toy that you wanted because your sister's playing with it. Those are small problems, okay? And those need to have a small reaction because it's just a glitch, right? It's just a glitch. It's fixable. So that's where 2 is. A small problem. You might be unsure. Maybe you didn't sleep well the night before. You might be a little tired, or you're disappointed about something. So take a moment. You can pause the video and write down what you think your number, some words that you think would fit in your number 2 box right there. All right. Now we're going to talk about a 3. A 3 is this yellow zone. Oh, look at this poor guy's face. All right. So a 3 is maybe you're sick. Maybe your tummy isn't feeling well. You feel like you might throw up or something, or you might have a headache. You're not feeling well. Worried or anxious. If you're having anxiety about something, you're starting to feel nervous, worried. Maybe you're a little frazzled, like things weren't going the way you expected them to go, so you're a little bit frazzled. Anxious, nervous, worried. And then on the other side of the 3, there's silly and goofy. You know, when you stay up too late and you're tired, but you're silly and goofy and you're laughing. And that can be excited or silly. A 3 can also be that, excited or silly, because you can't think about anything else other than your friend's birthday party that's happening tomorrow. And you're so excited that you can't focus on your schoolwork. That would be a 3. So go ahead and pause the video and take a moment to write your 3 thoughts right there in the 3 box. And now we're going to talk about number 4. So this guy, oh man, this guy's starting to get frustrated, right? So what you'll notice in the 5-point scale is that each one is getting a little bit more like kind of nervous, angry. Oh, well, this guy's kind of frustrated. And then we're going to talk about number 5. He looks kind of scary, don't you think? So here's 4. That face, that's when you're starting to get frustrated. When you're starting to get maybe a little annoyed. This is the point where you need to take a break before it gets worse. And we're going to talk about what that looks like to take a break and calm yourself back down into this 1 and 2 zone. But so number 4 is frustrated, maybe a little bit annoyed. You're starting to notice maybe your face is starting to get hot because you're kind of starting to get a little mad. Maybe you're playing your favorite video game and mom said it was time to get off, but you're not finished with your game. So you're starting to get a little mad, a little frustrated, okay? So that's when you need to recognize like, oh, stop and think, right? I'm mad because Mom asked me to get off this game and I don't want to. And it's okay to be mad. It's upsetting. It is. And she knows that, you know? So, but if you can identify that, you can say, I'm starting to feel like a 4. I'm frustrated. Then that helps you communicate and work things out. All right. So pause the video if you would like and write down some feelings for that number 4 on your own paper. And then we have 5 up here. Now this guy is, I like to call him crazy mad because look at his eyes. So this is crazy mad. And we don't like to be up here in this level because at that point, when you are so heightened and you are so mad, you stop thinking and making good decisions. You're actually operating from this part of your brain called the amygdala, which is your fight, flight, or freeze. As you can tell, I'm at school, and that is the recess bell, so pardon the interruption. So when you're at this 5 level, you're operating from the amygdala, which is your fight, flight, or freeze instinct. So we call that crazy mad. At this point, you're just plain angry. You might be ready to explode. this is kind of a big problem, and at this point you do need to take a break. It's not really an option anymore. We do have to do something to help you calm down. So how can you do that? What are some ways that you can calm down? Well, at this moment, when you're up here, you might need to just remove yourself from the situation and go be by yourself for a bit. But what can you do to calm down when you're in this 2, 3, 4? We're going to talk about some solutions for that. And what I want you to do is, after you've written your words here about how you might be feeling, go ahead and flip your 5-point scale over, and you're going to actually write your strategies for how you would calm down. And I have some strategies here for us that I would like to talk about. So the first strategy that I want to talk about is taking a break. Well, what does that look like? Well, breaks look different for everyone. Here at school, I have 2 different break spaces, one inside the classroom. I'm actually sitting at it right now. There's this really awesome table that has some stop and think strategies here and some calm down strategies behind me. And I also have a break space out in the hallway. At home, that might look like going to your room and being by yourself and setting a timer for 5 minutes. It kind of sounds like a self-imposed time out, but at this point, you're not in trouble. You're taking a break so that you don't get to a point to where you might be in trouble. Going for a walk. At school, that might look like taking the hall pass and, taking a walk in school and then coming right back, or going and getting a drink and then coming right back, or going and using our sensory path that we have. So at home, that might look like just going outside, which brings me to my next one, is going and sitting in the sun. Just go being by yourself for a bit, going outside, breathing in that fresh air, getting some vitamin D by sitting in the sun. Okay, you can listen to music for a little bit. Music is super calming and a really great way to get your mind off of things, especially if you have a favorite song, and maybe you might want to dance a little bit, which will release those feel-good endorphins and help you calm down. Taking deep breaths. This is a go-to for a lot of people because it's something you can do that immediately works. Let's try it together. We're going to inhale for 3 counts and then exhale. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. I already felt my shoulders relax. That was awesome. The other thing that I like to do along with deep breaths is something I like to call tighten and release. So what I'm going to do is, when I take my breath, I'm going to inhale and tighten all of my muscles from my fingers to my toes. Tighten, tighten, tighten. And then when I breathe out, I release everything. Let's try it together. You ready? So when we breathe in, you're going to tighten all your muscles, and then you're going to release. Okay, ready? Breathe in and out. Do that a couple times and you'll be feeling pretty good. Some other things that I like that helps me calm down is playing with some fidgets. So here I have this really awesome stress ball. We also have some fidget spinners. There's a bubble timer that's really nice to watch, and even some Play-Doh. So you can do something like that to help take your mind off of things, get your hands moving, and relax. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is talking it out. I'm one of those people that really likes to problem solve and bounce ideas off of somebody else when I'm feeling stressed or having an issue. So talking to an adult who's going to help you problem solve can also be a great strategy to use. I hope this was helpful. Welcome to the 5-point scale. And I'm going to show you now how we do a check-in. So Somebody might ask you, how are you doing today? Or how are you on the 5-point scale? And right now I am feeling like a 1. So I would say, oh, I'm doing great. I'm a 1 today. And they'll know that means I'm happy, I'm good to go, nothing's bothering me, things like that. So I encourage you to fill out your 5-point scale and put in the words that are your feelings for each one of the boxes. Get your strategies on the back, some of your go-to strategies that can help you both at school and at home. And I encourage you to do a check-in with your adult at home. Let them know how you're feeling today. And then when you notice yourself starting to get in this 3, 4, 5, we want to stop and we want to think. And we want to use one of our strategies on the back. All right. So you can let me know how that's going for you. I would love to hear your feedback. And I hope that this was super helpful in your journey on being able to communicate your feelings.